Hello everybody, this is Mr. Nardelli from math class. I'm going to do a little lesson on dividing with two-digit divisors just to get on some of the vocabulary here that you need to know. If you have a division problem that is the typical with the division symbol here, the first number is the dividend, the last number is the divisor. Now in this case it's the larger numbers the dividend, but just know that it could be a smaller number. If I am in the long division way, where we tend to call this the doghouse, the dividend is in the doghouse, the divisor is on the outside. And if we have a division sentence with in the form of a fraction, the top number is the dividend, the bottom's the divisor. So make sure you remember those words. So if we're dividing by a two-digit divisor, you know, a lot of times if I said 58 into 489, that could take me a while if I did my multiplication over here. If I did my 58 times 3 and I didn't get it, 58 times 4, and I keep doing 58 times 5, and I end up doing 3 or 4 or 5 multiplication problems, and it's quite annoying. So I'm going to show you a little way to get around that where you can do minimal multiplication problems. Okay, so we ask ourselves 58 into 493. We're going to temporarily change 58 to the closest 10, so we'll call it 60. Temporarily call it 60. So now 60 into 489, but we're going to go even one step more. I'm going to say 6 into 48. So I say 6 into 48 goes 8 times. So that gives me something to work with. I can now say 58 times 8 and do my multiplication problem, and it gave me 464. Now I can look at 464 and I can see 8 is going to be what I need to do. So let me put my 8 up here, and I will subtract 464. Let me scoot this over just a little bit. And again, I subtract, where is it? There it is. And I get 25. Now I'm going to have to drop that 3 down. So I'm going to do the same thing. Instead of saying 60 into 253, I'm just going to say 6 into 25. Well, that's about 4 times. So I'll do my original number of 58 times 4, and I see it gives me 232. So perfect. 232, then I'll subtract. And I forgot to highlight my number up here. 4 times 21. Now I'm at the end, and I want to check it just to make sure my remainder 21 is less than my 58. So I can just plop that up there as a remainder of 21. So in this problem, I ended up doing, in this case, just 2 multiplication problems. Make sure you keep them neat on your scrap paper too, so you can reference them for bigger equations. Now, if I have a division problem such as this, where I have 62 as a larger divisor, and it can go right into 75, I don't have to do any of this estimating. I can just say to myself, well, gosh, 62 is going to go into 75 just one time. That's pretty easy. So I'll do 75 minus 62, and that gives me 13. I have to drop the 8 down, and now I'll say 62 into 138. Now, that's kind of close, so I'm going to estimate, well, 60 times 120, 60 times 2 is 120, so it's going to have to be 2, because 3 is going to send me over too much. And I will get 120, sorry, I mistyped that, 124. And I will do my subtracting. I think it's all the way down here. Nope, that's not it. Sorry about that. There it is. And I get, sorry, 141. I get 14 and I have to drop the 1. So then I'll say, well, 62 into 141, Well, 138, it was 2, so I know it's going to be 2 again. And so 2 times 62 gives me my 124. And I subtract, and I get 57, and I'm at the end. So 57 is less than my original divisor of 62. So I call it, oops, I didn't do the 7, sorry, a remainder of 57. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me at nardelli.efsc@gmail.com. Thanks.